you put up your story there not a lot while ago. You're like, if you're hiring or if you're needing help with your business, how is that went? Like, if you got any strange requests?
I actually did get a DM from some cunt being like, yeah. He's like, and then I opened it and I was like, what the fuck?
Send me
And he
pictures of
texted me
your
again.
feet.
He's like, I'll pay good money, and I was like,
Oh my god.
bruh.
600 quid for your sweaty socks.
Go on to the fucking TikToks recently where I've been doing gymnastics and just look at those comments like,
Mad, like.
it is
What are we talking about, like?
just gay, man.
Here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit and drinking wine. Like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast. We're back again with a familiar face, David.
Hello.
How are you going? What's
All
the
good.
crack? I feel like the last time we were speaking to you, well, the last time we were speaking to you was in Tommy's kitchen.
No.
Oh no, it wasn't.
You're
On the
wrong.
podcast.
The
On the
warehouse.
podcast. We were in the warehouse.
The last time we done the podcast with you, things were going pretty well. You were like linking up volleyball and all. And all this
I was hoping to get a shout out. Never got it. Never got it.
Never?
Well, we got a Instagram story post and it was like no tags, but it was just like a picture of the product.
Yeah.
Like, I knew the branding, but no one else knew it. But
Yeah.
look, like I said, that cunt's probably getting tons of requests and free shit. Like, so
He looks like he's fell off a bit though, has he?
people say that about everyone.
He's doing things with
Do you know what I mean?
that OnlyFans girl now, isn't
Who
he? What do you call her?
says like, oh, what's her name?
The Cal the Dragon and the blonde haired girl who owns a bit.
Doesn't ring a bell.
He's like, unsubscribe.
Astrid.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
well, Cal the Dragon. He just does that.
Did
In
it
case
sound-
Aoife watches it, he's like, oh, I don't really know.
That girl.
Oh yeah, Cal the Dragon's one. Like.
The last time we were with you, though, we were like scooting around your warehouse. We done that UK versus USA sweet challenge, etc. Came, checked out the Greedy Gwen headquarters,
Mm-hmm.
and like just, I think we were talking about this before we hit record, and then we're like, we'll just save it for the podcast. We literally left, and then the day after,
Yeah, the day after I let
Greedy
everyone
Gwen
go.
posted a story, and I was like, oh, big man must be posting what happened last night. And then he was like, yeah, I had to let everybody go. And I was like, oh. And I messaged them, and I was like, lads, like, for some reason I was like, is this got to do with us coming last night or something? Like, I just went
Too
into
much
complete
These
over.
three assholes came into the business.
I went into complete overthinking mode. I was like, oh my
He's
god, lad, like,
he's
what's
I've
going
started
on here?
attracting these sticks. I need to just cut it off now. Like.
And so like you were saying there before we obviously started recording, like at that stage you kind of knew but you didn't know. Was it very quick? Like, was it a very quick realization that things weren't going?
No, so what really started it is I was meeting with a financial mentor who was helping me get like a clear picture on the financials, because I was trying to get through like Invest NI to get funding, because I was looking at just shipping worldwide and stuff. But anyway, I had a financial mentor and we were meeting up like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and that was this process of getting a better picture of the finances, like looking at the balance sheet and the P&L. And for business owners, I don't usually use them. I sort of have my own methods that I would do on spreadsheets and stuff, and it's just my method of doing it anyway, but it takes a long time to get it done. And when I finally got that done and up to date was like just before you came over,
Yeah.
and then when you went away I just like sat and looked at the numbers and I was like, I just
No.
seen how much money had like was lost, you know. And to put it simply, like I would take month by month and see how much profit did I make from the product sold after all the costs. And then, like in those past 3 months, there was over like £15,000 down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we needed to be hitting about £50,000 in sales to be profiting.
How often?
It's just like a month. Or
Like so, like in say like, yeah, in a month. Sorry, in a month.
Okay.
So like in May, in April, I think we maybe had 50,000. In May, we maybe had 45,000, and those were good months. And that was like the last time I got my clear picture. And then for the next few months, I was like, okay, I know where I need it to be. And like I knew we were hitting like 20,000 or 25,000 in the month, and I sort of knew in my head like this isn't where we need to be. But I just put all my time and effort into trying to do more TikToks and do more marketing. I was like learning about email marketing. I was just fucking like
Flat
trying to make
out,
it happen. Like,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't happening.
yeah.
It just wasn't happening. So yeah, look, I went home that night and I was like, I can't continue to lose money. And I spoke with my mum that next morning, just being like, fuck. I'm gonna have to let everyone go, like,
Yeah.
you know, because it's the biggest expense, and I need to cut it. In hindsight, it would have been good, I think, to say, look, guys, there's going to be nothing here for the next week or 2 weeks because I've got a lot of work to do, and I don't know what the future of the business is, as opposed to everyone was gone.
Yeah.
You know,
And how did that go? Like telling everyone, like, was it?
the way I would, like, I'd been pretty friendly to everyone. You know,
Yeah.
I had a good relationship with them, and there's times when you just need to be the boss. You know?
You were saying that whenever we were in at the time, you were saying like there was times where you had to sort of you had to bridge that gap between being dead on and then just being like, right, you need to, like, I'm your boss here, like you need to start. Yeah.
So when I came in, like, and I had that conversation, I was very just told it how it was. You know, it was obviously a shock, but it was probably even a bigger shock just to see me sort of talk how I should have been talking, you know, and treat them as an employee as they were. But I wish I had been able just to speak to them the way I'd talked to them, you know, the way they had known me. But I just had to get through that, and everyone was stunned into silence, if I'm honest.
Seriously?
You know, like I suppose another thing is, like, a lot of them are young guys. Like, I was older than them, so then I was just like, look, you don't feel like you have to say anything, and then most of them just, well, at some point everyone just like shook my hand and was like, you know, thanks very much, appreciate it, and hope you get through this.
How did they take it then after? Obviously, you said they shook your hand and stuff. After, you still have, like, do you still speak to them, or is there blood between them?
Oh, no, not at all. So a few weeks had passed, and I still needed to get someone back in because there was way too much work to do. So I contacted a few of them, and I got one of the guys back in. But just recently there, I reached out to a couple of the guys who I hadn't seen since, and just like sent them a gift card, and I was like, here, thanks so much. Like, you know, it was a good time, as shit as it is and how it had to end, but, you know, I really appreciated it, and we did have some good times, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you think, like you're saying there, that you had to make that switch to the business mentality rather than just being friends? Do you think if you did sort of run that mentality throughout the beginning of the business, it would have helped it?
Potentially, yeah. Well, having a clear picture on the financials is where I went wrong. Like, I needed that.
Yeah.
You know, I needed that. Like, you need that every day, every week. You need to know where things are. And I was leaving too long in between that. But I sort of had rough ideas in my head. Like, I was talking, like, I knew the benchmark was like £50,000. So a couple of weeks would go by and I'd just do a couple of numbers and be like, this is where we need to be, get sales there. But, like, there's different things you'd be buying and spending money on and, like, trying to reinvest in the business. But it's like, should I really be doing this right now? Because the sales today aren't where they need to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's, like, I was just, in my head, I was like, going to fucking scale this to health. We need to be shipping a pile. Like, we need to be pushing out so many orders to make this thing work. Anyway, it has to be scaled so much more. So in my head, I was just like constantly reinvesting into that. Like, better efficiency, like shipping faster, like just trying to build the brand through like Instagram. Because I hired a content creator as well. You know, we were posting like so much on Instagram, and I was still doing the TikToks and stuff, but I just done it too quickly. I scaled it too quickly.
Yeah.
Do you know
How
what I
many
mean?
people did you have working for you?
Different numbers at different times. Like, there was odd days where there's maybe like 7 guys in, but I would say mostly there was 3 or 4 guys in every day. You know, on a most consistent basis.
I know it's pretty recent, but do you feel like on a personal level you've learned a life lesson from it yet, or is it still difficult?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like, that's, yeah, like, it does feel like a real life lesson. Do you know what I mean? It's like a really good experience to have. And the way I think about going forward now is there's so many things that I've done before, and I'm like, I am not fucking doing that again. Like, I can't even let myself go there to do that because I was like, dumb decision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, how else do you learn? I know me anyway. Like, you have to actually experience things and make those mistakes to know.
Would you consider running a business again, maybe in the future, or is it something you
I definitely, you know, definitely. But I wanna go slower, way slower.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just be something I really enjoy, and probably be involved with other people. Like, potentially, like, found the business with other people. Like, maybe someone who's good at the finances, you know, and can do that every day. Because I fucking hate doing all that shit. Like, see, like, bookkeeping and collecting invoices and emails and admin. It fucking sucks. And then I just, like, avoid it. I just go and do TikToks and stuff because that's fun. Do you know what I mean?
What sort of money and like what was things like what way were things going when it was at its peak? Like I know you were saying you had to hit like 50,000 a month. Like, were you like going past that by much when you were at the top line, if you know what I mean?
Like, our best, most profitable month was we maybe cleared like £2,000 in profit on that month.
Yeah.
But there was months where there was losses like over 5-6.
And it's like the
£50,000,
£50,000 like cost.
£50,000 would have been in sales, so what we were paid for products and delivery costs.
Yeah.
But there was also two sides of the business. So whenever I started, like in January, doing the website, we were also selling selection boxes on Amazon.
Yeah.
And they were fucking killing it.
Yeah.
So like, I actually kind of forgot this as well. It was like the height of lockdown, so it was very profitable, and I was treating it like, I'm going to reinvest these profits into the website, and like through the year it stopped selling as well. Do you know what I mean? These selection boxes, and we actually ran out of stock, and I sort of like whenever we had two warehouses, like literally one warehouse, I just fucking forgot about it. Like I just most days I wasn't in there. There was so much stock sitting in there that was for selection boxes, and like in my head I was like, we'll make them for Christmas and stuff, because I had ordered like there's like maybe £25,000 worth of stock in there, but I was like just so focused on scaling Greedy Gwen that I just forgot about that. Like
And how hard was it? Like you'd said, I know at the time after, like the period after you'd sort of announced that everything was shutting up, you'd said that you were trying to sell off as much sort of stuff as possible. Like, is all that gone now? Is it just...
So at that time when I decided that, there was about £60,000 worth of stock. So there was like £25,000 worth of selection box stuff, and then like £35,000 worth of stuff that was sold. That was usually for Greedy Gwin, like for the Greedy Gwin website, but we ended up just selling it all through Greedy Gwin. And the problem was, like, especially the selection boxes, right? So we had like 18 different sweets, and we had loads of quantities of them to make this selection box. Like, so the selection box is a wee mini thing, and there was 18 different small sweets. But to produce them, I would have had to get in like 10 people for about 30 days, and I would have had to like manage them as if it was like a production line. To be able to make those selection boxes to potentially make more money off that stock. The point I'm trying to make was like that stock, when it was sold by itself, wasn't that profitable, and no one was going to buy it, like seeing my videos on TikTok, because I didn't have competitive prices on it, so I was going to have to drop the prices to get rid of it. A lot of the stuff was like that, because now it's like, okay, I'm moving out, this thing's time sensitive, every month that goes by I'm losing even more money, so you're going to lose money in the stock anyway. And I didn't want to be constantly posting TikToks all the time, like same prices, same stock. Like each time I sort of came back with a new video, I was like, I need to drop the price more here, because I would make a video and we get fuckload of orders, and then it would fizzle out, it'd be more stock, drop the price again, do another TikTok. You know.
And at that stage you were just like, get out, like it's time to move on. I was trying to get out by the end of December, but realistically it was January, and like 31st of January I handed over the keys, everything was out.
I went on to buy some Milky Bar cheese, but they're all gone.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have kept some back.
You're like, I still have a contact, sorry.
I do.
You see, like coming out of lockdown, like obviously I'm assuming like shops and stuff reopening would have had like the demand for online sweets and stuff would have dropped a good bit. Like was that like one of the main things that factored into it, like sort of going down the hill? Yeah,
I'd say the organic growth on TikTok, where the platform was, combined with everyone being at home, like just fucking was like, I don't know, it was just like it made the account grow so much, and the orders come in so much, and I just scaled the whole thing too quick.
Do you think it was like lockdown and people being like, right, like at that stage you were completely and utterly sucked out of like any sense of normality, like even going to the shops and stuff was like, oh, we're going to the shops, like we're going to be seeing people and all this here, and then you came on and it was like sort of something different, and I would say it was a lot of people that were still getting paid pretty much like enough to be like more than comfortable on, but sitting at home doing nothing were like, this is class, or like pack my order and I want to see my order being packed on, like, because it was good. Like that, I would say that's how it just went from like to low to high, like. Yeah. Like the first few months I was making so many videos every day. Like there's days I was making 50 plus videos. Whoa. I was just 2 cans of Monster in me, fucking running about the warehouse, just making as many videos about
as
the
I could. Like,
let's go.
Like, just like doing as much as I could, you know, because I've been creating content before on like Instagram and YouTube. And you guys will know as well, when you put so much time and effort into a piece of content and fucking no one sees it, when people are actually seeing it, I know.
I've been doing it for like 2 years.
So when people actually see it, like, it's just like, this is a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think like I don't want to come across as a dick, like, but like, do you think like any of it sort of went to your head in a way, like, you know, all like getting all like the views and the followers, and you're like, this is like, does that did that factor into like you scaling so fast? You're like, I'm sort of like invincible type of thing. It's never gonna end.
I suppose like the way I've been thinking about it in my head ever since I started the business. Like, so I started the business in like 2017, the company, and as soon as I started that, I was just like posting YouTube videos, like documenting this whole process. So while I've been trying to build a successful business, I've also been trying to build like my own brand. Do you know what I mean? Because I actually think like long term, if I can do that, document my process, and actually just do something that's impressive or like actually have success, and I've shared the journey across the way, like that's just going to put me in a good position.
100%.
So that's sort of in my mind, knowing that I had the opportunity to like grow my following. I definitely think it played a part. Do you know, in that I was just like so focused on that and like taking that opportunity. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So since then, what have you been up to?
Fuck me.
Swinging from the rafters in his garage by the looks of it.
Yes, mate. Like, so actually at the start of December, I got COVID, and that's whenever we got like a huge surge of orders, and I couldn't go into the warehouse. And what I'm trying to basically what I'm trying to say is like I was like,
luck hasn't been on your side.
That was weird because I should have handled it better and let all the customers know, but I didn't want to just be coming on like I've got COVID.
Was this after you knew things were...
This was literally like the biggest deal I'd done at the start of December. We had like 600 orders or something, and I just got fucking COVID. So I was just home all the time, and I really started getting back into like exercising and looking after my health again, and like eating well, and started running. And just like ever since then, I've been like building those habits and like spending so much more time doing like gymnastics and mobility. So I've been filling a lot of my time doing that, because the only other thing that had to be done on the business was get orders shipped out and like do finances and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's just been like waiting, like trying to sell stuff and seeing if anyone wants it. And it's like, that's the most urgent thing I need to be doing. So I feel like I had a lot of free time. Do you know what I mean? And I also just enjoy that stuff. So I was just like, fuck it. Like I was just like, I know how much time I've been spending like just working out and doing gymnastics and stuff, but I was like, I'm just enjoying this.
Do you find it difficult to fill your time now? Being so used to constantly going working with the business and stuff?
I was filling my time really well. Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't filling it with like business stuff. Yeah. I was literally like, I just need to keep moving, just keep doing stuff. Do you know? And now, like everything's wrapped up. Everything's done with the business. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I've done all my accounts. I've done all the bookkeeping. I've got all my invoices paid and stuff. So now I'm finally in a place where I can be like, okay, what's next? Yeah.
Do you feel like a sense of relief that it's over?
Yeah. See, whenever I had let everyone go as well, I was not expecting this. Like, it was sad and it was hard, but I was unexpectedly like really relieved. Yeah. Like I was like, fuck me.
Yeah. I suppose it's like the pressure of having to pay staff as well. Like they're relying on you, like, you know.
Yeah, I think it was just weighing in my mind a lot, like thinking about the guys and their lives and like keeping them in work and stuff. And I wasn't even realizing that. Do you know what I mean? So it was like really felt like myself again a bit. And then like I don't think it's the worst thing that's come to the end, if I'm honest. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because it took so much of my time. And I understand that like you have to put a lot of time to make it work, but I don't know if it's 100% what I actually wanted. Like I don't want to be like a businessman that's just like working 24/7.
It's probably a good thing though in a way, because now you can look at it and be like, right, if the next business, you will inevitably go into something else, like that's, I'm pretty certain that's going to happen, like, and at least you know now that you may have to be slightly more like tough on staff and stuff, but like you know that's the way it needs to be, as opposed to, and maybe if you went into like, so like in, you know, 10 even 20 30 years down the line, went into like mentoring people who were like yourself and starting businesses, like you have the experience now to be like, don't treat them like friends, like that you're paying their wages, like they rely on you, they're your staff. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a lot out of it, to be honest with you. You're looking at the positive sides. Obviously there is the negative side of it, but I don't know, like when you're looking at it from that point of view, like you've got a lot of time ahead of you. I think you know that as well, like yeah
so young, like
so
young, like that's he's the man, like.
And you put up your story there not a lot while ago, you're like, give me business, like what was it, you were like, give me some like opportunities, or like if you're hiring or if you're needing help with your business. How has that went? Like if you got any strange requests?
No strange requests, but like a lot of different stuff. Do you know, like a lot of different.
Like
Fuck me. I actually did get a DM from some cunt being like, yeah. He's like, and then I opened it and I was like, what the fuck?
Send me
And he
pictures of
texted
your
me
feet.
again. He's like, I'll pay good money? And I was like,
Oh my god.
bruh.
Give me
He
600
probably
quid for your
sees-
sweaty socks.
He probably sees you like doing your pull-ups from your garage thing, and there.
Go on to the fucking TikToks recently where I've been doing gymnastics and just look at those comments. Like,
Madly.
it is.
What are we talking about? Like,
Just gay man. You know what I mean? Just hitting on me. And I'm not a homophobe or anything. I'm not that. But it's just like, bro.
So not is it like give
Chill.
you a bit of
But even if-
confidence in
yeah.
it, you're just like,
but even if like
Oh, you're
women or
shit.
even if women or something were commenting like, send me pictures of your feet, you'd be like, whoa,
Yeah.
didn't matter who it was. Like,
You must be liking alright because you're still posting them.
thirst trap, Dave.
I just don't even look at the comments anymore. I'm just like, fuck. Just post my shit.
that's so funny.
I know, I'm
Post my
beautiful.
But sorry, back to the marketing requests and stuff. Like companies were reaching out, asking me to do marketing for them, and just general like advice and stuff.
Like
And
what were they asking you to do in terms of marketing though? Like
just like how do I market my brand, how do I
Just
get it
like-
out there and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, I really had to go through a process of what I actually know here and what's actually worked for me, because like marketing's so broad, and I've just come down to like I have a good idea of like TikTok, like what's working on TikTok.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What to do and what don't to do, or what not to do. But like in terms of like paid advertising and stuff, I don't really have much
No, that's why I was asking like
experience there.
what do you mean? Because I just didn't know whether it was like giving advice on like paid stuff or if it was just TikTok or what was it?
I kind of fizzled out. Like I had a couple people I went back and forth with, and I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. Like,
Yeah,
Bad
do you know what I
vibes,
mean?
huh?
Yeah.
I'm not. I just don't. I feel like it would just be something I would get really bored of.
yeah.
You know.
Taking pictures of your feet all day long can get very repetitive. But what would you like if someone came along and was like, oh, here, I've got an opportunity for you, it's X, what would that thing be that would make you like look at your phone and be like, I'm opening that DM now?
I actually don't know, because I've got like different people reaching out to me and all, like wanting to partner and stuff and all, which might sound like good ideas, but I'm just like,
messy.
huh?
Sounds messy.
I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like I don't know. I go off like my intuition sort of a lot. At the moment I've got like a couple of job options and things that I've applied to. There's like 2 or 3 basically. Things I've applied for and stuff, and I just need to get into a job.
Have you
Yeah.
ever
You know.
been employed? Like
Like
worked in a job 9 to 5 or
nah, just part-time jobs.
always? So it's always been business for you in terms of
Money.
after that, money wise. Do you think that'd be difficult to make that transition back into?
There's I think it'll be a change. I think it will be a big change, like.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to like if I got into a role and it was like 9 to 5, just go in there and just get it done and just be done with it for the day
Yeah.
and go away and not have to worry about it.
Would you consider going away and travelling for a while?
I'm broke. Like it is something I've considered. I have family out in New Zealand and stuff, and I was considering it. Maybe in a few years' time, I need to get my head down and start earning some money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then like if I have an appetite for it, like outside of the job, to like
Yeah.
start thinking about a business or something. You know, do that, but just take it slow and get some money coming in.
What's the type of work you're looking to get into? Like, is there anything in particular? Or?
Like social media stuff and just e-commerce sites.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I would like to get in and just really understand like whatever companies I'm working with and like what's their bottom line. Like I like getting the full picture of the business.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to just be like go do this and make fucking 10 pictures or for TikTok.
You
or
don't
for
want to go
social
in
media.
somewhere and like, with all due respect to the people who are, be like an errand boy, like just running getting coffees and stuff for people, and it's like, right, what am I?
Doesn't actually
Yeah.
happen.
Nah.
Some places, yeah.
Like
It does.
where, like?
Like
I think you're talking
Is
from
that
experience there.
places,
Like,
places will get you in for like
PTSD.
marketing assistant roles, and it's like, right, well, here, like I done it, not
I think I
naming
know what-
names,
I
so
think
like
I know what you're saying.
I done a role where it was like,
So you
right,
call
here,
it-
just literally call these people that we couldn't be ours, like
Oh,
getting
yeah.
people who pay more money. Like I'm not saying that there. Like, how do you know there's not places where you go into and you just run and get tea or coffee? Like, you haven't worked
But
for every business in Northern Ireland.
do
So
you-
I did.
exactly.
Roasted.
Like,
Like, we're like a runner, like.
Yeah.
Like he's talking about going into a marketing business and doing fucking.
but what
what
the point what I was trying to make was, you don't want to be going in anywhere and not getting like you've said like you understand how like the business runs and like doing TikToks and like the organic growth side of things, but like you need to know more about the paid stuff. So like what would be the point in you going in and a company being like, right, post these like the place you worked for, you were posting Facebook posts, like what would that benefit him? Zero.
Yeah, I want to see like what's the actual income, like what's the product, what's the profit margins like.
That's one of the things I'm doing. Like I'm working in like a marketing job now where I'm doing like paid ads, like, and like when I was doing the fitness stuff, I was sort of just like throwing the money in the Facebook ads. But now like I sort of know like when to increase the spend on ads, like when to stop spending on ads, like you know, learn like the actual like analytics side of it, like what works, what doesn't. And it's things like that. It's like if you knew that back then, it's like things could have been so different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's like probably getting into a job where you actually are learning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a couple opportunities. And I'm not saying I'm definitely going to get them, but one of them would be working from home. But I actually think I want to get into an office. Do you know, actually just
working from home.
I just want to.
Nightmare.
I just want to be with like actually interacting with people and like.
There's working from home all the time. You just get into this routine where it's like I wake up, I sit in my home, I do what I need to do, and then I fill my evening. Whereas like I would say I wouldn't want to go back to the office full time, but like I like being in the office 1 or 2 days a week because it definitely breaks up the week. Like, but like you love working from home. You just.
I just think like there's jobs that you're gonna do that you're going into work just to sit at a desk and do work on a computer anyway.
Yeah.
And like you're spending money to do that, but like I think it depends. Like I think like if you're working it from home and you're just not speaking to anyone all week and things like that, but like we'd have calls and just like chat and have the crack some days, like, and but like it just depends. Like I just think logistically I'm just like what is going to be the difference here than on me going into an office and sitting at a computer. And like I work from home because like because the people I work for like are based in Dublin, but even then like the people that work for it, like I work with, could live near Dublin and they're like not going into the office as well just because they prefer to be at home. Like.
Yeah,
you'd be going into the office to have a Teams call from the office.
That's
like that's if any time anybody's like, you coming up to the office, and I'm like, will I have to do a Teams call? If the answer's yes, I'm staying at home because I'd rather sit in my pajamas and do a Teams call from home than go up to travel 30 minutes up the road to an office. And you know what I mean? I
think it just depends, like, because like you work for a company like where you're actually doing the work for them and going in, whereas like we're doing work for different clients that are based all over like America and all over the show, like so it's like you're doing calls anyway, like, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter where you are.
Yeah, if you're going into the office, you want to be going in with people in your team and actually bouncing off them and bouncing I
think that's what I want.
100%. And like, what sort of companies are you attracted to? Like, would you be
ones with big paychecks?
It's a big bank. Would you consider going into like a? Would you consider going in? I feel like we've tuned this into like a flipping like, oh here, get David employment, please.
Open up like
David McGuigan direct@gmail.com.
I'm gonna be like that's what I always do to him. I like send him jobs. I'm like, and he's like, I'm employed, and I'm like, oh yeah, because there was a point where like he was looking, and I just kept firing him like 5 jobs a day, and I'm still doing it now. I'm on LinkedIn, like it's the same as houses. I just love going through and like nosying.
He sent me like a Google marketing manager job, and I was like you need like 5 or 6 years experience for this, like, and when he started working for someone, like, what the fuck?
But like a grad, like the likes of like a grad job, like I know whenever I left uni, I applied for a grad job with BT, and it was flipping insane, like project management, and it looked like you could go in and you could be like, not that it exists, but a wee errand boy, but like you were getting paid good, like you paid good money, and like you'd be learning, like don't know.
Yeah, I want to.
The comeback's on for David.
Yeah, oh fuck yeah! I'm so ready to get
You'll
to work.
You'll be cartwheeling
like,
through the office door, swinging for doing press ups and
sitting
stuff.
on like a wee yoga ball. I want to go into a company where I can actually like potential to move up and all as well. Do you know? Yeah. And like people who have experience who are high above me to sort of like mentor me. Ready to fucking start working.
And did you say you're like, I think last time you were talking to you were saying about moving up to Belfast? Is that still something you're trying to do? Or?
Potentially it depends about the work.
Yeah,
it depends about the work. Yeah, it just depends what job I get. You know, so I'm trying to do that first, and then I'll figure that next part out.
I genuinely, like, no joke, I genuinely thought you'd be coming in here and being like, I'm going for the Olympics, like. Because by your snap,
bro, 2032, let's go.
I feel like we all know each other well enough now. We've had a few interactions to just like, I genuinely was like, I would not be surprised if he came in here, and I wouldn't bash you for it. I'd be like, go on ahead, David. I genuinely thought you'd be coming in here and being like, I'm training hard for the like?
I'm training a lot. Like
Yeah, like
I'm
would
training
it?
a lot. Like that's
No, why not?
That was the master plan the whole time. He was
Yeah.
getting people fat with the sweets so he could win the Olympics.
You were throwing people the
Tactics.
strawberry. Whatever happened to the like your own brand stuff? Would that not ever be something you would still keep on like getting?
it is something I've trying to be thinking about like the past few weeks, because a lot of people are emailing and commenting and saying like, is there any sweets left or can I get them? And like I still have my supplier, you know, so I can text them and say, give me a pallet of sweets and deliver or whatever. But I'm not going to be shipping the stuff from the house. I'm not going to be driving around to shops. I looked at a fulfillment center, like I priced out like what would they charge,
Yeah.
and there's just not enough profit in it.
Mm.
Do you know, the other thing was like, what if I done like, could I do something like in person or something? I was just thinking in my head, like, how would that work? You know, like, did I go to an event or something? Or I don't know. I was just trying to think if I just, you know, you took whatever the minimum order of the sweets is, how much would you sell them for? How much could we make? How much would it pay to like all the other things involved, like get people to serve or whatever? But there's not enough in it. Like,
Suppose you would you have to like get it so like you're just like shipping the sweets, like your suppliers like shipping the sweets to like say like a Spar, like that type of thing where you're not actually handling them
there is
yourself.
companies that do that, but which I reached out to, but it's just the margin.
Not good out there.
The
Like.
margin doesn't work, and then
The more people you involve, the more money that comes out of the profit, I suppose.
aye, that's it. Like, so anything I'm doing next, I'm just, I really want to think through like what's the work actually involved and what's all the costs involved. And I don't want to be, I'm not going to be like fucking just packing sweets anymore. Like I just
Yeah.
can't be doing that. Can't
Yeah.
be doing that.
It's not glamorous, is it? Like,
It's just
but like I'm not trying to insult anyone, but I'm just mean like in terms of like people probably see you on TikTok being like, oh fuck, this guy's killing it, but realistically like during the day you probably are packing sweets and stuff. It's not like you're running around like, lads, look at how many followers you've got on TikTok. Like.
yeah. Like for the longest time as well, especially whenever I started, like it was just a complete grind. Like
Yeah.
I did all the work and just took no money out of the, like as little money out of the business as possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I'm like, I want to actually, if I want to make a business, I want to be it where it's not like I have to do like, because I would basically be working for like less than minimum wage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to actually have something that's like actually profitable and actually pays.
Yeah.
You can afford to pay people and pay them well to like run it.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I
was
mean?
going to ask you in terms of your TikTok, just if anyone's listening, because you were saying earlier like you've learned what things work and what things don't. Like I wanted you to just hear what you had to say about that.
Yeah.
Trade secrets.
No. I've really
like,
been
well, we
good
know,
about it recently
but-
as well.
What was that again?
Well, that will be
How many followers
£50 an hour.
How many followers do you have? We're not far behind. We might catch up.
I think we are.
Yeah. Just another 200,000 to go.
Aye, no bother. We'll be there in a day.
Just a couple of weeks.
Breathe them down your neck.
It depends. Like you need to post often. How often? It's up to you and your content. Like,
50
and,
times a day.
like that was me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that was me. I think a real thing for me was people just kept seeing me in their For You page like 10, 15 times, and they're like, okay, what the fuck is this cunt saying?
Yeah.
I'm either going to block them or I'll listen to
Yeah.
the video. It takes that to sort of, whenever you see someone new, but posting often, you have to know what you're talking about, or at least talk from
Oh, yeah,
just your own experience.
we've got that one before.
Do you know? Don't like.
We're not.
What?
What is it? People giving out because we're not well informed enough.
Oh no, we were talking about
You do
like,
not know what you're talking
you know,
about.
don't look up the film.
Don't look up. Yeah.
We were talking about it, and they're like, oh yeah, like to pretend like you know about like the environment and
Yeah.
stuff. And
It
we're like,
wasn't even anything
That
to
was
do
global
with it.
warming.
and we were like, we're talking about a film. We're not actually being like, yeah. So do you think this could actually happen?
Yeah.
People were like,
There's
Stop
something
so
else.
melting, like.
people were like, I love logging on to seeing like who logs on to TikTok. Like I love logging on to see
Imagine logging out of
spreading
TikTok.
spreading misinformation about global warming. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you watch the end of the film whenever what you call your girl,
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep steps out of a space shuttle onto a fuzzy purple island naked and gets eaten by a dinosaur? But you're like, misinformation about global
And
warming.
then they said,
Grow
why
up.
are you talking about vaccines? But I think it was like a different thing. So they
don't get it.
we thought the movie was about vaccines, but it was nothing to do.
Is that a claim?
I think
Yeah,
we were talking.
can you have 5 references before you speak?
Yeah. Like it's a bunch of lads talking about a movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people are taking their
Like
climate and
just chill,
whatever
guys.
information
Just chill.
from.
I think TikTok is just becoming as toxic as Twitter. Like. But like back
It's
to
a
what
lot,
we were
like-
talking about, like what's your tips for TikTok?
Yeah.
David's TikTok
So-
tips, go.
Yeah, posting a lot. Know what you're talking about. You need to stay within like your niche, especially if you want to grow it. Like you ever see like there's some of the huge accounts that have like millions of views, and they're always talking about the same thing, just hype like on different trends. Like obviously replying to comments, like video replies, has been good for me. And just being really open and honest. Actually knowing how to make a good video as well. Like sometimes I watch clips and it's like the clips are just too long and too boring. Your attention just goes. So it needs to be like snappy, and in the long term of it, you need to be yourself as well. I think if you really want to make it work, because eventually you can't fake it the whole time. Like,
what about sounds? People say that you have to use like certain sounds, the most popular sounds, to kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean, like one of the most viral TikToks we had was like a trend. It was like a sound. Now the way I posted that one was like as if I was an employee for the company, which like, I mean, technically I am an employee of the company, but like I'm the owner. Like I didn't really post it from a true viewpoint, and although that we like got loads of views from it, I've heard people saying before, like if you want to jump on trends, you need to make sure you're jumping on the right one and you're consistent across the board. But yeah, post loads of content. You have to know that what you're actually saying or what you're actually doing is like good quality. You actually have something to bring to the table, you know, and like actually try and critique your content, you know, especially if you've spent a lot of time putting it together. You might think, oh, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's writing this down.
Yeah.
You said there also about replying to comments. I think between us we've seen some bad instances where people have replied to comments and it hasn't went well.
Depends what you say.
Yeah.
Depends what you say.
Have you any advice of what you should say? Should you be like agree with the person when you're replying with them, or like try and be comical, or what's your approach to that?
Do you find it hard to do that? Like,
most times I just like talk about what I think. I'm just like, this is my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll just try and be respectful and just say like, you know, thanks for the comment, and then just I disagree. If you're trying to be comical, like, yeah, fuck it, that can work. Like, if you're a comical person, you know. But like I've made like jokey videos and stuff, like, cause I'm generally a sarcastic person, which isn't really on TikTok much, and then people just be like, ego. You know, this guy's so arrogant. You know, so glad your business failed. And it's like, I can have a fucking joke. Like,
I seen one of the guys was like, seeing you and your business fail has brought me so much joy. I'm like, how wrecked is your head? Like that you feel the need to like,
Greedy Gwen,
yeah. And then he's DMing you on the slide here. Send me a few packets of them strawberry.
The amount of people who've like, not the amount of people. There's been a few instances where people have replied to a comment, and then I've just hit them back with like, love, to be honest. Like, I haven't been hating them, like, and they just like generally delete their comment or like reply and just like, so sorry, like, didn't mean this, was just joking, just you know.
Yeah, you were joking.
Like, there was a guy on my own personal TikTok, David McGuigan, before I started the Greedy Gwen, who just did like a duet or a stitch with me and just rinsed me, like was just trying to take the piss out of me, and I just like replied something to him and he's just like all good, bro, or you know, something like that. Like, some people just don't think you're gonna actually see their comment, or like, oh, they're just ripping, they're just having a bit of crack, like they're not.
Yeah, I think you know though the tone of people, like when they're having a bit of crack and when they're just being a downright.
Yeah. And also I know that like if you reply to a negative comment and you be nice, like people are like, ooh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Not
that I'm faking it, like I do. You know, it's just.
It's in a reverse card.
It is what I think as well. Like, a lot of people, like, if you're actually commenting shit on people's videos, like, it's not a good position to be in. Like, you know, you're probably not in the best place.
You reach so many people and you just have no idea sometimes for who's. I think it's different than Instagram and stuff. There's just so much potential to reach so many people.
Yeah,
100%.
So with that comes.
That's why you need to start doing TikTok for this podcast.
No, I can't deal with my one hate comment that I got.
It wasn't even a hate comment.
It was a hate comment.
Go on to my fucking TikTok. There's like there's hundreds of TikTok comments.
This conversation with Alicia this morning. She was like about the hate comment, and we were like, that's only the start of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I could deal with it. That's
right now. There's a crack in the wall. The tiny bit of water's leaking through it to the floodgates.
Yeah, I would absolutely embrace it. Like,
it's a good thing. That means you're doing something right.
The thing for me is like, if you're getting good views and like 1,000 people have liked the video and like one person's commented that, you're just sort of like, do I care? No.
As long as you're just staying true to yourself as well and like doing what you actually
Yeah.
How do you deal with the hate? Do you just not?
I don't even go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally don't like.
You don't read it.
Sometimes I can read them. Sometimes it gets to me. Like I'll be like just lingers in my thought in my mind and stuff. Especially if I've been like reading a lot of comments and trying to like them and reply to them. So sometimes I just have to distance myself. But like more often than not, I'm just like I just don't even think about it. You know, and it's just like anything. You just build that up. Like you just keep practicing in that. And another thing is like trying not to get too like high off the compliments and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People say you're doing well. It's just like cool, thanks.
That's what people
You know
always
what I
say
mean?
is like, if you believe all the good comments, you need to believe all the bad ones. So you're better just not.
It's better to just try staying in the middle. You know.
So
I feel like this has got so deep.
it's so deep.
One thing I wanted to ask though, like just before I finish, is like, what is the plan with the TikTok now? You've all these followers. Like,
I don't
did
know.
you do a video saying a few people were like trying to buy it off you? You know?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
can give it to me.
Loads of people trying to buy it.
You couldn't handle
It's
it.
the best.
You should just delete.
It's the best thing I have.
Yeah.
Do you know that following? Like
Your wee
it's
baby, you know?
the best thing I have. Like I wouldn't sell that shit. Like
You just go
you
on
know
and
what
look
I
at
mean?
it, go, my precious. I think you should turn it into like a gymnastics, something like your stuff's cool, like doing flips and stuff.
I
It's
think
mad.
I'll definitely keep up with that. I'm just gonna try and just talk through my days and stuff, and just share things and just be honest about like what I'm trying to do and what's working well and what's not. Basically, what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just might be in different things. I don't have a 100% plan of like what's.
I think that's a good idea because it just sort of shows your progress throughout life. Like. One day when you're 70, you look back and just look at all the TikToks.
The diary. Yeah.
But like, would you ever like change the name, or can you do that?
Maybe. I think I'm like most people probably know me as Greedy Gwen, so I'm glad to just keep it like that. I'm happy enough to keep it like that for
We'll
now.
buy it off and change it to Here's the Crack Me In, and then change our one to like Here's the Crack Part 2.
I think you can change the name, you can't change the handle or something. The app, isn't it?
Oh really?
Yeah, like you know the way it is.
I've never
now.
tried.
I'm sure if you send them off with email, they could manage something for you. You're a big deal, like. Greedy
What do you
Gwen
know who
coming
I
in.
am?
What sort of offers are you getting? Like,
I didn't even entertain them. Like they're just like, "Are you selling the account?" Like no.
that
That's
wouldn't, like,
madness,
give you any
eh?
ballpark figures or anything?
He hasn't
Nah.
opened my DM yet.
Most of them are like fucking 16-year-olds. I mate.
Yeah.
Just
Much
so-
for the coach.
Treat
Give
it
you
like
5,000 V-Bucks.
Like
That's all I've got. It's like when you went on eBay and you seen people selling like, you know, Clash of Clans. You went on eBay and people were selling their Clash of Clans village like login. They're like, I have level 12 town hall, buy it off me for £600. Like, what? I'm sorry.
whatever you're into, huh?
Is that not what your buddy Stephen Bartlett used to do though? He used to like build up Facebook pages and then just sell them on. Like.
Mm.
But
But
I forget what I was gonna say now. What do you say?
the in all seriousness, like with regards to the gymnastics, is that just purely for you, like, and you're trying to get better at it, or?
I fucking love it.
Because
really
I
love it.
definitely like I have a feeling like when you said that to me, I was like, you're kind of lying to me here. Like I just had a feeling that you're doing something with it that.
Like so, there's a competition in August that I'm going.
See, I told you. Exposed.
But it's not like it's like. It's just like it's called adult gymnastics.
Olympics qualifier.
And it's like there's beginner, intermediate, and pro. So I'm just going to be going as like a beginner. Do you know what I mean? I'm really not like I enjoy it. And I definitely have like a competitive side to me, but I'm just like I just want to enjoy this.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in and start like fucking putting too much pressure on myself to like be progressing.
Yeah.
I just want to go in and enjoy it and work
And
hard at
when
it.
is it? Can we come? We'll
Fucking
hold a big
sure,
banner
let's
up in
go.
the stands.
Greedy Gwen.
David, you want to
There'll be like a video in 10 years time. Remember Greedy Gwen. Just do like backflips and fucking somersaults. Fuck the haters, man.
Oh my god! Imagine.
But it was good to get you on and have a chat, because I feel like that was when we were planning guests and stuff, we were kind of saying like it would be good, because that's the thing we like about this, is that you're very open and honest about pretty much a lot of the stuff you do. Like you're not really, we knew you wouldn't come on and be like, no, I'm not telling that, or like, you know,
Yeah.
And what age are you?
24.
Wow.
I feel like you're so much more mature than me.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
24, like.
She's like, all right, I'm leaving.
So much life experience.
All those, I feel like I just sort of, I did skip that uni in a way. Like I just
Yeah.
skipped uni and just went to work. Do you know? So I do feel like there's maybe a few things I've went through, like at a different age that people have went through them. Do you know? So I've obviously got some experience there.
We were buying suits when we were 20. You were selling them. That's the difference.
Well, we look forward and seeing what you're going to be doing.
Absolutely.
I definitely am, and I'm enjoying your gymnastics. It's making me feel like a lazy her.
I think you're enjoying his gymnastics a bit too much.
I just go
Have
on.
you been commenting on my videos?
I'm going on like 200 quid. I going on like I'm sitting like working from home or whatever, feeling like an absolute fatty, and then you're just going on. David's like out on, and then the next minute he's like doing these flipping pull-ups in his garage, and you're like,
Fucking
wow.
He wants you to go to the Olympics so he can guarantee there's going to be more content coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I have your number now on WhatsApp. I'm just going to be like David 2054 in the Olympics. I'm going to be like, you know that podcast you done with us 30 years ago? We're still sitting at 50k on TikTok. Do you mind coming back and giving us a wee boost here?
No problem.
But no, thank you very much for coming on. And where do you want people to go to follow you and stuff now?
Greedy Gwen TikTok. I'll still be active there. David McGuigan on Instagram.
And if you have any juicy job offers.
Yeah. I'll probably not reply. But I might.
Right, thank you.